Hello there, Drive Radio fans. Richard Rush here today for the review of the 2015 Lexus GS350F all-wheel drive. Sounds like a mouthful, but really is an awesome car. I would love to tell you more about it, so let's take a quick walk around and we'll go from there. Just want to let you know that this is the long review of this car, so if you want the short review, a little bit more concise information, check that out in the sidebar. But as you'll notice on the front here, it does have a different grille than you'll find in the standard 350 GS350. It does have that F-Sport grille. You'll notice the nice accented headlights as well that are an option on this car. Some different things that are on this car in terms of the package. It comes with the cold weather package, which has windshield wiper deicer, water repellent front door glass, high intensity heater, some different heated seats. One thing we will point out here real quick, which is our opinion, you're paying $60,000 for this car as it sits, and these windshield wipers are kind of on the front part of the glass. We would like to see them parked, is what kind of the term is, down here where they're not necessarily out of view, but yeah, in essence, out of view and not having to see them while you're driving. Not a huge thing, not a huge factor, but something to consider and something Lexus we would like for you to change. A few other features that are on here with the F-Sport package. You get rain sensing wipers, heated and ventilated front seats. You see the different 18-inch wheels that are an option there. Gives you the Sport S Plus mode, different tuning, different suspension, a lot of different factors on this car that comes with the F-Sport package, which we highly recommend. It is a $4,600 option, excuse me, that on this car, but we really do highly recommend it. And something else that we'll show you as we get into the interior is the infotainment package that really is all new for 2015. You'll notice not a lot of major changes on this car for this model year. The major things are the different wheels. It comes with the 18 or 19-inch wheels. It does come with a special trim option. Not going to get too much into that because this car doesn't have it, but a major factor in that trim level is actually the interior goes to a red and a black dual interior versus just an all-black interior. Will point out this, I do love this rear spoiler right here on the back. It gives this car a nice, sporty, edgy feel. Really did enjoy it. You'll notice the F-Sport badging. And one more thing, the all-wheel drive. We had a little bit of snow. It's hard for you guys to see now. It's mostly melted. It's Colorado for you. But overall, this car performed really well in the snow, and it performed really well on dry pavement. Handles great. With that, let's go take a drive, show you how this car operates. We'll come back, do the interior, and then we'll close out the review with what I think of this car and what we think. Alright fans, we're going to take a drive here in the 2015 Lexus GS350F but first we're going to show you some of the interior features and the all-new infotainment system. And one thing you will notice, which those of you who are Lexus fans, is you'll notice actually I almost have 3 screens right here, which is all new for Lexus. So I have, and if you can actually see my cursor, I have one screen over here, and this is just in the map setting. I have another screen right here that's a little bit closer in, and then over here, I just push over here, and it gives me the options to select from music, my climate controls, or my fuel economy. And you'll see definitely the average is almost 20 miles per gallon, which I will take note for that. When my dad first had this car, he was able to average about 22, and I've been able to get it down to about almost nearly 20 miles per gallon just in the way I drive it. So, but overall, really did like this car. Some people aren't a huge fan of the Lexus system. I myself have no reason to complain. Really like this car. It's very intuitive. But with that, let's kind of take a drive. I will show you the backup camera real quick. You will notice right here that I am able to actually turn and kind of see where we're going to go from here. So I can just turn and it will put me right exactly where I need to be in terms of the curb and in terms of a parking space if necessary. And again, I do like this. Lexus has also left the other thing so you can see. So if maybe you have a passenger in the car, and we were actually doing this before we left, the passenger can actually change the radio and update some of the functions while I'm driving or even reversing. But let's take a drive now. We'll go forward. One thing I will point out here is the different modes, the 4 different modes. We wish you could show you the difference, but I'll be honest, you really have to experience this car for yourself in order to feel the difference between all 4 different modes. I will say this, I'm not sure what Lexus calls it, and I do apologize, but their exhaust technology that gives you a nice quiet ride right now, where even if I get on it right now you won't hear it, and we'll try it up here just in a second. You can actually, when you get on it, when you open up full throttle almost, and the exhaust opens up, it has a very nice hearty throaty noise that I really like hearing, and it sounds very well, or very good, I'm sorry. As we're driving down here, you will notice it is a little bit stiffer with that F-Sport package on it. We're in a normal mode right now. To me, I noticed this car just being a little bit stiffer in general versus a car without that F-Sport package, because we've driven both of them. But overall, really impressed with this car. It drives well, handles well, really is a blast to drive. And actually, I'm going to kind of slow down here and see if I can't get that throaty noise, to see if we can hear it. And it's hard to hear. I will be the first to admit it. It is hard to hear, but it gives you that nice throaty little rumble in the exhaust. But intuitive controls in terms of this, some people will complain it's a little bit of a distraction to operate the system. We have not found that. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but overall really is a nice intuitive system. Overall really fun, very enjoyable car to drive. But let's head back and finish the interior. All right, everyone, we're back from the driving portion of the 2015 Lexus GS350FSport, and hopefully you enjoyed that as always. And we're going to continue to say it: get out and drive these cars yourself, especially if you're really considering and heavily considering a car. Get out, test drive it, bring your family, whoever that might be, or whoever's going to be riding in it a lot of the time. Bring that person with you, or those people with you, to get a view of what this car is going to be like. But we're on the trunk here. One thing we really do like, which Lexus has included on some of their models, this is an option for this car, about a $500 option here. And actually, I'm going to clarify just real quick, it actually is a $400 option. I'm sorry, $400 option for this car. But let me find it right here. You push it and it has an automatic trunk. They call it their one-touch trunk option. So as we get into the back here, you will notice it does have a matte back. Well, it's kind of their matte definition, and it also has a cargo net, which again are options. You'll notice the trunk space really it is about average for this segment. You can fit a good amount in there. You can fit probably 2 or 3 golf bags in there, depending on how big those are. Really is nice. Love, again, we kind of mentioned this, but it's subtle features that Lexus does, or that Lexus puts on their cars, but they cover up the metal, so you're not seeing metal. It's nice and plastic. Again, with that one-touch trunk open and close, just push that. It does come down. I also have the capability of doing that on the actually key fob itself. But let's head around to the interior here, and we'll kind of show you the rear seat. So back here, this seat isn't all the way back. It was put forward because we had someone in the back seat, but honestly, you don't need to. I'm 5'10", and this, you'll notice over here that this is the driver's seat in full exit position. And I would be a little bit closer over here. This seat's about 2-3 inches more forward, and I have probably 5 inches or so of legroom right here. So plenty of legroom back here for a long road trip or just a cruising around town. It does have vents back in here, and you actually do have an outlet back here. It's kind of hard to see with our kind of the lighting here, but you do have the cigarette port right here, which you can plug in, and you do have the nice center console right here for your some storage right here. And then on the front of it, as always with Lexus, there is your cup holder right there. Something I will point out right here, some nice soft touch feeling right here. You have a little bit of an accent kind of here. It is plasticky, but again, plastic right here, but soft touch mainly throughout. You do have your cigarettes there, even though it says no cigarettes. But overall, really do like this car. It does have a rear sunshade, which is a nice feature on this car, especially for your backseat passengers. We do have blind spot monitoring on this car as well. With that, I'm going to run around to the front seat and I'll meet you there. All right, everyone, we're in here on the front seat, kind of the interior. I'm going to go through some of the overall features, and then through the driving portion, we went through quite a bit of those interior features. Really like what Lexus has done here. I close this. It gives it a nice closed feel, nice kind of seamless thing. One thing I will point out right here, not a huge fan of, wish they would have done something different. It's hard to tell. There is a little bit of a gap right here. You can tell I can actually fit my finger in between, I guess, kind of the cut or the storage where your cup holders are at in the other part of the center console here. And I wish that would have been able to kind of be seamless a little bit right here, to where that's just a seamless transition. Not a big thing, just something I would like to see. You do see your heated and ventilated seats, which can go in the auto mode. Lexus's infotainment system, which we went over in the driving portion, does give you the Eco, Normal, Sport, and Sport Plus modes. Really work well. I love how Lexus gives you the actual physical button controls here. Not a lot. Some car manufacturers are just giving you all into the infotainment system, Lexus has maintained those physical buttons, which I'm a huge fan of. You have nice steering wheel controls. Would like to see adaptive cruise on this car for $60,000, but again, not a huge thing, just something you got to be cautious of. One thing I will point out, I like how Lexus hides some of these controls here in the center console. So you do have your nice glove box right here if you want it, but if you want to go forward right there to where you don't have anything fall in the center glove compartment, we say right here, you don't have to worry about that. But if you want to cover up your back screen and your parking sensors button, just move it a little bit far forward and you have a nice, clean, sleek look throughout the interior of the car. And you'll notice again the black leather seats in here. Really am a huge fan of that. If it was that other trim package, would have the red and black, but again, I'm not going to go there. One last feature I would like to point out on this car, you'll notice the nameplate or the door plate right there up here. This is a plasticky feel right here, but it's not a hard plastic. It's almost a rubberized plastic. And right here is actually his leather. So something you're going to get on a Lexus is this nice leather stitch, the white stitching right here. Really like this, and just a subtle feature. Most people aren't going to notice or care, but I really do enjoy that. Heated steering wheel, like I mentioned before, but overall, really did enjoy this car. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it here in just a second. So if you want to catch my opinion on the 2015 Lexus GS350, stay tuned. Hello everyone, we're going to kind of go over the opinion portion now of the 2015 Lexus GS350Fsport. Some pros for this car. Love the ride, love driving this car. It was a tremendous car to actually drive and experience. Really was a blast to drive overall, just had no issues with that. Great power. 306 horsepower underneath the hood, gets you up and going if you need to. The all-wheel drive works really well. And overall, in terms of interior styling, I love what they've done. I love the new infotainment system. Some people aren't a huge fan of it. I myself like it. I think it's easy to use, simple to navigate, things like that. A few cons for us are just actually a few small things, no majors. We went over the front windshield wipers here on the very front part of the review, and that some people are going to say that's a ticky-tack thing. For us, it's actually a pretty big thing because they actually, it seems to us, they almost forgot to put those windshield wipers down. They just kind of tacked them on at the end. Would it keep us from buying the car? We're not sure in that. You kind of would run the numbers and see, but it is definitely a feature that you think you're putting $60,000 into a car with all the options, and those are some features that stand out. And who do we recommend this car for? Well, anyone who's looking for a luxury sports sedan, to be honest with you. This car works really well, fun to drive if you're wanting that nice luxury feel, nice quiet road comfort for yourself as well as your passengers, but also the ability to get up and go and kind of have some fun, especially here in Colorado with these nice mountain roads. It's definitely a car to do that with. Very fun, very functional, and really did enjoy this car. So again, this has been the 2015 Lexus GS350Fsport. All right, Driver Radio fans, thank you for joining us for our latest review. If you like this review, check out our website, drive-radio.com. We have a lot of cars, tips, and tricks that you can find on there if you're a car lover like ourselves. If you like the website, like our reviews, head to the YouTube page. Drive Radio, no spaces. You can check out a lot of our other reviews there. If you like those reviews, we have a radio show set every Saturday from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. here in the Denver market. You can find us one of three ways. First way is on the website, which is 560thesource.com. You can find us on YouTube. We stream every episode live. Or you can check us out on the TuneIn app, which is just 560 The Source. You can download that straight to your phone. But thank you for joining us. We appreciate all your feedback, all your views.